Shalom to all of my members that are here. I hope you are doing well. We're going to do a brief talk about the upcoming empty shelves. So, what I want you to know is there are alternatives that will be available, and we're going to talk about that today. So, what one of the things I want you to do is make sure not only can you get into your Amazon account, make sure you sign up for Amazon Canada. Amazon Canada, make sure you can get into that. Canada is not having a trade war with China. So Canada will be fully stocked while the US will not. Another location that is still getting um, all kinds of goods from China is Mexico. Now, the thing is, I noticed one thing about Mexico. They have the items, but the items are they're a lot more pricier than it would cost to get it from Canada. So make sure you can get those two different Amazon accounts, which you should if you have a US account. You should be able to access Canada and Mexico. Now, another thing, I want to go over what Amazon put out. So let me read this to you. So, yes, despite potential supply chain issues causing empty shelves in stores across America, Amazon will continue to ship orders, including those from third party sellers. While there might be occasional delays due to increased demands or logistical challenges, Amazon Fulfillment Network is designed to handle a large volume of shipments. So, if you remember during the pandemic, Amazon was able to send their own planes and ships to China and bring the goods back independently. They should be able to do it. They have more money than everybody. So they are going to do this again. So they're not guaranteeing that everything will be there, but they should be able to fulfill most things. Okay. So will there be great demand? Absolutely. There is going to be huge demands from people. All right. Another one you should rely on is Etsy. There are a lot of merchants from China on Etsy that sells all kinds of supplies that you will more than likely be able to receive if you're looking for it. Now, will it cost a little more? More than likely it will. These things would not be happening if we didn't have this unruly president in office causing a lot of hardship for people. Will everybody know about this? No. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to be able to think when these things occur. So, the best thing for you to do if you got family members or people that you love, make sure they know if they can't find something in the store, the alternatives online that they can go to. I have been stocking up for quite some time now. And, in all of my efforts, y'all, I still probably don't have enough items for what's to come. And all I can say is I will continue on with my business, although jars and bottles may change, but the product on the inside will remain the same. That's the only thing I can guarantee you. So if I don't have access to certain bottles and jars, it may slightly change. But, to my best ability, I will keep my business going and you will have somewhere to go for your hair supplies And that's the one thing I can tell you. I hope that you all will do well through this whole thing. And I think with our Heavenly Father watching over us, I'm sure us being His children, we will be okay. I don't have any doubt about it. It doesn't hurt to be prepared, but I really truly don't believe He would leave us stranded at this point in time. And I'm going to lean on Him heavily to get through it, as well as many of you will. So if you here's another thing I'm putting out here. If you have any issues with finding things that maybe you really need, reach out to me and I will research the entire internet. I'll look at different merchants from overseas and see if I can locate those items for you. If I'll do whatever I can to help each of you. So just reach out to me. The only thing right now that I do have concerns about is not so much my oils or, it's certain supplies that I need to make my shampoo. The conditioner is actually a lot easier to make than the shampoo. I do have concerns about that, but I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. If it gets to the point where I can't make the shampoo because I don't have all the necessary ingredients, I'll just temporarily shut it down and restart it when I do get the ingredients that I need. But as far as the pomade, the balms, the butter, the oils, those things, don't worry about. I always have access to shea butter and all that stuff. So that part should be okay. The only main concern I have right now is more than anything is the shampoo. So I will find a way around it, even if I have to create a shampoo where I have all the ingredients and just do a different kind of shampoo. I'll do whatever I have to do. So, y'all stay prayed up and we'll just have to lean on each other. And I know we will do well. I really truly believe those that have spent their entire life always looking for other people to do everything for them, those are the ones that are going to have it the worst. They are going to have it the absolute worst because let's be real, we going to be looking out for ourselves and our family. We're not going to be looking out for them. They're going to virtually be on their own and they have never been on their own since we've been around them. They have never, I mean, they talk all that trash about high IQs and knowing everything, but at the end of the day, these folks have never done a single thing in this country on their own. Those are the ones that are going to have pure hell through this entire thing. And there's also things we have heard along the way, especially from Big Levi, Big Judah, Brother L, you know, how these folks are gonna leave when they can't leave, and this is another way the Most High is gonna drive them off the land. When they can't have access to any and every resource that they need, this is gonna be a huge factor in driving them off the land. Because out of fear, they'll leave thinking, well, maybe if I go over there and they're not fighting with China, I can get all the supplies and food. I'll just move over there. That's how many of them will do. They will just leave because they're not going to be able to live under the conditions we're about to go under. You know, I always knew a famine was coming to America, and y'all, it looks like it's about to come to pass. I do feel for our homeless brothers and sisters because as supplies dwindle, a lot of these food shelters, remember, they get everything from the supermarket or donations. And even during the pandemic, they said when we're going through a crisis, people are less inclined to make donations because, they're in survival mode. And I do feel for people that are in food deserts and people that have a hard time getting food on the table, it's going to be that much tougher for them. It really truly is. Mhm. So, that's all I wanted to say, and if I could find other sites that will stay well stocked, like your AliExpress. Now, they said they can still send things over here even with the tariffs on them. And I had read that China is shipping a lot of things through Vietnam and Thailand and Japan. They're going to be shipping from those places because the tariffs, although their tariffs also went up, they're still lower than what China would have to pay. So they're looking for alternative routes to get supplies to us. All right. And y'all, please protect your homes because when people get desperate, they're going to be looking for food, even if they have to break in to people's homes. So make sure you safeguard your home. If you don't have any type of cameras, get one, even if it's a small one. You can get some that you can just put on the internet and just put it in your window, and it will virtually do everything a Ring camera will do. And you can even talk through it. So you do not have to spend top dollar to get a security camera for your home. There are some you can just screw into a lamp socket and put it on the internet and face it towards your window, and you can see anybody coming and going to your house. And many of those cost under $50. And trust me, it's going to be worth every dime that you pay in the long run. So make sure you're secure, keep your home secure. If you don't know who's on the other side of the door, don't open your door. Don't open your door. All right. So everybody be safe, and I'll be praying for each and every one of you every single day through this entire crisis. But y'all, as I said before, if there's anything that you need but you can't find, please reach out to me. Yeah, if you know what temp is, I just bought a bunch of them from Timu. I bought a bunch of solar power chargers. I bought a big one and I bought smaller ones where I'm just going to keep them in the window at all times in the back part of my house. I don't want people coming up and seeing them in my window up in the front. But in the back, I'm going to just keep them in my window sills. That way, they're always fully charged. And when I need to use them, I will. But in all honesty, y'all, I think the power is going to be okay. It is just going to be the supplies and resources and food that's going to be short. But I really truly believe as long as you are paid up on your bill, you should have power through this entire thing. You should. I mean, that's a whole different thing. That's not like something that you buy off the shelf anyway. It doesn't hurt to have, especially with hurricanes and things coming through, all kinds of powerful storms, especially this time of the year, and power could go out briefly, but come back. So it doesn't hurt to have those things. Your solar power chargers, and you can even get one of the big blocks. I have one of the, I have a few actually of the big batteries where you can plug things in and you can use a UPS, USB port for charging. I have 3 and I am gonna get 2 more. Um, and also keep candles and matches. Just get some matches. You don't have to always have a lighter. You can just get a bunch of match books. I bought 100, a pack of 100 matchbooks. And I do also have the Bic lighters and stuff, but those things eventually you're going to have to discard. That's why it's really good to have like a box of matches. If nothing else, get a box of matches too and some candles. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, solar panels are good 'cause you can get some power out of that, so those are good. Mhm, manual can openers, absolutely. Mhm, that's right, and get the rubber jar grips just in case you have jars that are difficult to open, get the rubber jar grip so you can turn those jars open with ease. Mhm. Yeah, I have the crank radios, Tempest. I have those as well as, other radios, but the crank radios are good because it requires no batteries. Mhm. Um, if you can get water delivery, because you know how it is when people panic, the things they're gonna grab is the water. You saw what happened during the pandemic, right? The water, the toilet paper, the paper towels, the cleaning supplies, those things are gonna go first. I already have water delivery coming to my house, so I'm gonna keep that service. I'm gonna keep that service. It has really served me well, and I like it because I can increase or decrease the amount of water I want delivered, and I use, Ready Refresh, and I believe they're in all 50 states, I think? I believe they are. Mhm. So, y'all have a wonderful day, and you all have my email address. So, again, any questions or anything you want me to help you research, let me know. All right. All right. Shalom, family.